Welcome to our journey into one of the most fascinating and debated stories in the Bible. Today we explore the question, how did Pharaoh die in the Bible? Let's dive deep into the ancient texts, historical interpretations, and archaeological evidence. The story of the Exodus is one of the cornerstone narratives of the Bible. It details the plight of the Israelites, their enslavement in Egypt, and their miraculous escape led by Moses. Central to this story is the figure of Pharaoh, the unnamed ruler of Egypt, whose heart is repeatedly hardened against letting the Israelites go. But how does Pharaoh's story end? According to the book of Exodus, after a series of devastating plagues, Pharaoh finally allows the Israelites to leave. However, he soon changes his mind and pursues them with his army. Exodus 14:28-29 describes the event. The waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, the entire army of Pharaoh that had followed them into the sea. Not one of them survived. But the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground, with a wall of water on their right and on their left. This passage indicates that Pharaoh's army was drowned in the Red Sea. However, it does not explicitly state the fate of Pharaoh himself. This has led to various interpretations and scholarly debates. Some scholars believe that Pharaoh perished along with his army. This interpretation is based on the general context and the catastrophic nature of the event. Others argue that the text's silence on Pharaoh's specific fate might suggest he survived to witness the full extent of his defeat. Who was this Pharaoh? Historical and archaeological evidence has suggested a few candidates, including Ramesses II and his successor Merneptah. However, no definitive evidence has been found to confirm the identity of the Pharaoh of the Exodus. Archaeologists have searched for physical evidence of the Exodus story, including remnants of chariots at the bottom of the Red Sea. While intriguing artifacts have been discovered, conclusive evidence directly linking them to the biblical narrative remains elusive. The mystery of Pharaoh's death in the Bible also leads us to explore theological perspectives. Some believe that the lack of detail about Pharaoh's death emphasizes the divine power and the miraculous nature of the Israelites' escape, focusing the narrative on God's deliverance rather than on the fate of a single ruler. Ultimately, the story of Pharaoh's demise in the Bible is a blend of historical intrigue, theological depth, and enduring mystery. It invites us to ponder not just the fate of a powerful ruler, but the broader themes of liberation, faith, and divine intervention. Scientist controversy. Ali Goma raised a state of controversy after he announced on the program he presents on Egypt's First Channel that when the tests were carried out on the body of Ramesses II, they found that he died by suffocation. Goma also stated that the scientists found seaweed inside his corpse, which indicates that this is the Pharaoh that lived during Moses' era. Can we really know if the corpse of Ramesses II belongs to the Pharaoh of Egypt? Egyptian archaeologist Zahi Hawass had reviewed this matter during his speech in a seminar held on February 20, 2019. The first question during the seminar was about the Egyptian project for studying royal mummies. Hawass replied that studies over the past years have been conducted by foreigners who unfortunately took parts of the different mummies while studying. Whoever conducted the X-ray of Tutankhamun's mummy stole parts of it, and those who studied the mummy of Ramesses II to prove whether or not he was the pharaoh that lived during Moses' era stole his hair. But the hair was restored again, said Hawassi. We started the project to study royal mummies in 2009 and made huge discoveries regarding the mummy of Queen Hatshepsut, Egyptian queen of the 18th dynasty, how Ramesses II died, and the family of King Tutankhamun. We are now conducting studies on 20 royal mummies, Hawass answered, when asked about the time the project started. The veteran Egyptian archaeologist Hawass also explained that each royal mummy will be displayed with all its personal belongings and evidence or data about the profession of the owner of the mummy and the results of DNA tests and CT scans which determine the cause of death. According to Hawass, Ramesses V was sick with smallpox. From the aforementioned, we can deduce it was evident whether CT scans proved the causes of death. Did Ramses II die of drowning, as theoreticians claim him to be the Pharaoh of Moses? It is not possible with CT scans to know whether the mummy died of drowning or not. The only thing that proves this is the lung, which is not found inside the mummy. When they took the mummy of Ramses II in the 80s to prove that he was the Pharaoh of Moses, one of the researchers stole his hair on the restoration trip in France, putting it in a safe in his house. When the restorer passed away, his son tried to sell the hair, said Hawass. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more deep dives into ancient history and biblical stories. Until next time, keep questioning and exploring.